Ooh, isn't that strangeness? Okay. It's working, it's just the light's a little meanwhile, we are started. Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Glenleathann. It's May. Well, actually it's May here and May in real life. I have the seeder up and ready. I have the planter, the rollers are up and ready. And I was just looking over here and checking stuff out.
I heard it.
It's beeping.
And it looks like our fields are all fine and wonderful. This is a grass field, these are grass fields. Except this one here seems to have a problem. Like, we don't have current information on it. So, I am going to purchase soil information. It's going to cost us 6,000. Oh, we probably have money for that. So, now we can see the pH is fine. The fertilization levels on these three fields aren't the greatest. These are all approximately the same, which means I did remember to fertilize them last week. And that's our yield maps. Which, okay. And that's our soil type. No, that's our seeding rates. Okay. Anyway, let's jump into this thing. And we have about an hour and a half, or an hour and 15 minutes before the rain comes. And for some reason, yes, we are working. So, 3 fields got lined last week. And what was the other thing we did with them? We mulched them all. Yes. And I did comment that what's it? Virtual Farmer was having issues. He couldn't mulch a fully grown grass field. I don't know if that's because we've got Maize Plus running, the map allowed it, his map didn't allow it, or whether it was because we cut the grass before we tried to mulch it. But anyway, we are here. This thing only carries seed. It's not a seeder fertilizer. So I think that button there. Good. And that is now in position. Oh, no, it's not. That is now in position. We can turn it on. We can lower it. And we can go ahead and plant some seeds and run the deer over. Beep beep deer. Alrighty, so this shouldn't take too long, although oncoming weather is going to be an issue for us, I think. How much do we have? We do have 30,000 money left in the bank, so that's 6,000. It's kind of a lot. Alrighty, let's back that off into the corner a little bit. think I've said before, I could really do with some GPS sometimes. It would make doing this job a little bit easier. We've only got GPS on the Axion at the moment. I don't think, for most of this, it's not usually much of an issue. It's unstable stream today. But that's, I guess that's okay. We are planting maize, so that's good. And what I'll do here is I'll square off the corner. Crash into the hedge, because hey, that's always good fun too. Should have backed off a little bit more. Managed to get a little bit off track there. Try that again. Okay, now let's plug the corner and line up on the edge again. So, YouTube videos this week. Millennial Farmer is now planting corn with his new rig, which is a new planter, kind of like the old planter but newer. And he's got, I think it was an 8RX 2-track John Deere to run it with, and theoretically, the whole rig can plant at 10 miles an hour. Hey, we're not doing too badly here. Oops. Looks like when I do a tight turn with the Axion on this kit, the inside part of the seeder pivots rather than moves any. So that's actually quite a good thing for us, because it does mean we've got the equipment here to do adjacent rows rather than alternate rows. Not that I can see much in the dirt behind us. Still, it's nearly one lap. And in Patchwork, good morning, welcome to Saturday's stream. So today looks like it's going to be a nice clear day in real world terms. The girls have a Mother's Day dinner at church today, so the guys are planning a trip to Bob Evans. Because that's where young dude likes to eat, so he's all happy about that, although his sister's not feeling too well today, and he keeps telling her but she has to go because Bob Evans is important. Yeah, let's definitely need 2 headlands with this. Don't need 3 though. So once this is all seeded, I'm going to need to bring the New Holland over with the roller, get this all rolled. This is May 2, so we do have the rest of today, although I believe it's supposed to start raining about midday. So if I can get this field planted, that will be a good thing. Looks like I missed a tiny little bit on the edge here, which I think I have the room to do like that. So yeah, if I can get all this planted now. And I'm not being very accurate with the planter. I'd probably do better if I had GPS, but for right now we're just going to run overlapping stuff, driving over planted seed, you know, all the bad things. Oh, Tom Pemberton's planning to plant some maize this year. Because the results are in, and he did have a very good yield of milk last year from feeding maize silage to his cows. And he's just had another TB inspection and passed with flying colours. So he has the healthy cows. That's good. North Carolina farmer I'm watching, they are about to, or they've already probably cut and baled their hay. They haven't released the video for that yet. So summer farming is, or spring farming, farming 2024 is a go for most of the farmers I'm aware of. Our local friend who we buy our beef from, a little bit of a problem. They have a slurry tank. They want to do something with their slurry pit, so they need to empty it. Okay. They have an old slurry tank which last month he patched pretty much everything on it. The tank had huge holes in. So he got all that fixed, which is fine. And then last couple of weeks he's been using that to empty the slurry pit. And unfortunately, there's a pipe at the front of the tank where all of the mechanism is and the pump is. And the pipe runs across the top of the tank to the spreader at the back, and that pipe was blowing holes like crazy. So after a couple of days of spraying muck from the slurry tanker, he just ended up, the entire thing looked a real mess. But they're planning to sell that tanker this year, so I think his last comment was he's probably going to have to replace the pipe completely and stop patching it, because you can't sell it in the state it's in at the moment. And then all of the other farmers around here, they've got their crops in the ground. The crops are actually starting to break through. We've got a small ring of stones in our front yard, which I think last fall we decided to plant some bulbs in it. Mrs. Osa decided to plant some bulbs in it. And the rabbits have been quite happy with their new source of breakfast. However, it does look like we've got 2 flowers broken out, which is nice, and a few more pending. So we can call that a slight success, I guess. The outer flower, it's the clump in the middle that's grown and flowered. All the ones around the outside, not quite so much. And I did suggest it might be possible to buy a couple of the little metal sort of fence segments that you just push into the ground and loop together, just to protect the bed and still look nice. Those little metal fence things are kind of, what's the word for it, ornate. So that might be a thing we look at next year. Our onions are growing lots. I'm kind of wondering if our onion crop is a little bit densely packed. Because I think the way they are now, we're going to end up with dozens of small onions rather than a few big ones. But that might be good for us, because there's only 3 of us, so we don't. The problem is if we buy a big onion from the store, it usually lasts 3 or 4 meals. No, it does travel a little. We missed a bit of test because travel. The carrots are starting to break out, so that's good. They've been a little bit slow germinating. I believe the peas are. I can't see the peas from the back window. And it looks like a couple of potato plants are growing too, so yay potatoes. And then I think sometimes this month, probably next week, we may look at getting tomatoes and various peppers in the ground as well. We've got one planter left that the dirt needs topping up. Beeping money. And the kids' breakfast is ready for those that are up and awake. I'm not sure that's many of them. In other news, I've got 2 eBay locomotives which are in a very sad state of repair. They're going to be a project. They're both going to be projects. And there is a massive lack of model wheels available on the market at the moment. At least the ones I need to finish the locomotives I have. I might have to purchase things in stages. The chassis are now available, haven't been for about 3 years. So I could buy a couple of chassis. The problem is I have to get them from England, and the company that sells them doesn't do PayPal. So I may have to get my parents to buy them and send them over. But then I can get motors, I can't get gearboxes. I might be able to get a gearbox, but not the recommended, what's the word for it? Gear ratios. But still, a gearbox is a gearbox, and may actually work for what I need. But then I need wheels, and just nobody has wheels. There's about 3 companies that do wheels. None of them have any. And is that looked in? I think that's looked in. Okay. I am not going to plant any more right now. We're going to go down to the south field. And the reason for that is I don't think I can make a left turn into the field to our left. I also don't think I can make a left turn at the other end of the path to the field on our left. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the easy route to the southern field. And then when we leave the southern field, we can do an easy turn into the field I didn't do just now. So come June, all 3 of these fields will need weeding and fertilizing. So that's not going to be a problem for us. I do have some model train stuff coming in the mail. It didn't arrive this week. So that will be sometime probably this coming week. Unfortunately, it's in a parcel that's not tracked, so it's going to be a guess. Okay, you can sit there. I think the tractor we need is this one. I have been slowly rearranging hedgerows around the farm. We now have this second entrance here, and the field I just put the planter in, there's 2 entrances to that field as well. One facing the main yard. Looks like I serviced this while we were off camera. Pull this into here, and again we'll just leave it there. That one, that one. Okay, so I will stop running there. Landscaping, slopes. I think if I left click that and left click that. Oh. There we go. Oh, set target slope point. So if I right click that and then slope, okay, so what I need to do is make the brush size. Don't need to change the strength. We'll change the shape to square. We'll change the size to that. And in theory, we can just paint that. And we'll wander over here and take a look at how this is looking. Good. Oops. Okay. Wander over here and see how that's actually looking. That's looking horrible. That's really looking horrible. Oh, I know why that's looking horrible. Okay, so... okay. This is what happens when you mess with land. You end up with horribleness. So we'll try this again. Landscaping, slope. We'll put, that's our target point, and then I should just be able to drag that up to there, and that will work. So we'll set target there. We'll set a target there. We set a target there. Set a target there. Slope tool's quite handy. It's just not something that's been available in Farming Simulator before. Whoops. So it's not the easiest of tools to get used to all of the time. This should result in us having a much smoother yard with less bounces. Believe that is soften, that's level. So let's do, take it from here. And we'll level that out. Then we'll take it from there. And level that out. Okay, let's back out that. Turn that